Hi everyone, as promised we are back to our trucks page. Having done this one as a sort of Christmassy one, we're going to be doing another one today. I thought this one was quite good with the balloons in a sort of New Year sense. Was sort of 2nd of January I think, so Happy New Year. And we're going to be colouring this one. I'm going to be using the Ergosofts as that's what I used for that one. I thought I would use the same for the whole page. I think it makes it a little bit easier and the colours sort of can link in and things like that. Just before I start, I've got a clean piece of paper behind the page and I'm leaning the book on my planner because it's quite near the front of the book. I find it quite difficult to colour otherwise. So let's come in closer to our little truck so you can see what I am doing. Oh, my remote control has got carried away. The button got stuck and it just kept zooming when I took my finger off. That was quite strange. Anyway, here we go. Right, let's make a start with the wheels. I like to do black tyres. It always just feels right somehow to do black tyres. So I've got my number 9, which is the black. And I'm just going to do those. I'm just going to block them in. Nothing too special for these. You know, they're just plain rubber tyres. They do sometimes shine, tyres, but not very often. Only if they've just recently been... I think they tend to sort of paint them with something sometimes to make them look extra shiny. On new cars and cars that are for sale. But I think normally they're quite dull. So that's fine. We don't need to make it look particularly amazing. Just for this bit. I haven't really thought through what colour I'm going to do the balloons and the truck itself. Gold is always quite fun, sort of celebratory. But I'm thinking that maybe we'll just do... It'd be a little bit easier as well, just to do lots of bright colours, and then we're sort of looking quite party-like, which I think is good for New Year's. Obviously New Year's has passed, but you know, we'll just pretend it hasn't. So I'm going to I've grabbed number 4, which is our orange, and I'm going to start with an orange balloon. Now I'm going to grab one that we can see the whole of that hasn't got one of these marks on it. So I'm going to do this one here, just to start with, to show you. It's reasonably straightforward. How I do a balloon, there are much more complicated and more realistic ways of doing it. How I do it is I go quite intensely around the edge, so quite a lot of colour. So I'm layering up, and then as I go towards the middle, I don't want quite as many layers. If you're the type of person that pushes quite hard, try and push lighter towards the middle. Or try not to push very much towards the middle so you get a less intense colour there. And then we want a little bit for that little triangle bit at the bottom. And there we go. So you can see it's got this lighter bit in the centre. So a little bit too light. Which helps to make it look more rounded, I think. There we go. So there's our first balloon. Now I think we need a green one. I'm going to use this green to start with. We might do several green ones. This is 52, which is our willow green, I think. No, sap green. Sorry, I'm lying. I'm going to colour over these. These marks I think Johanna's put there to show where the shine's going to go. I'm going to put shine on all of the balloons. So I'm going to colour over it. I will go over it in my white pen after. It's much easier to not have to try and avoid it as you colour. I find if I do that, I don't get such consistent fade or such an even colour somehow, because I'm sort of worried about missing that bit. It just doesn't seem to look so neat for me. That might not be the case for you. You might prefer to leave it lighter, that bit. But I know for sure that these pencils, if I put white pen on top of them, it will show up and it won't bleed, the colour won't bleed in or anything. So I'm quite happy and confident to leave it. Now, 63, I think this is our Delft blue. Yes. Do this one. It doesn't really matter what colours you do. Obviously you can do your favourite colours. You can do them all the same colour. I'm sort of thinking Normally if I was doing, you know, if I was using balloons for decoration, I would stick to quite a simple colour scheme. You know, if it was a wedding or something, a party, I'd probably just have like ivory or gold and silver, something like that. But because this is a picture and we're colouring and it's fun, I'm thinking we should just do something a bit more bright. Now, number 29 is my next colour choice. 29 is, oops, I can't find the number for you. There we go. 29 is the carmine red. We'll go up here. Got a bit of red up there as well. I don't think that's this shade. Might be. There we go. So always remember to do the little bottom. I missed it on the green one. It's a bit fiddly. Again with this one, I'm going to go over the top of that little shine mark, whatever you might want to call it, and just sort of ignore it for now. We'll come back to that later. There we go. Now I think we need, excuse me, pink. Oops. So I'm grabbing number 20, which I think is called, it says magenta. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going for quite a rainbow of colours, but not in a rainbow order. I think using a rainbow order might be a bit contrived. So just trying to do it a bit randomly, really. But also thinking about colours that I know balloons are. I'm going to use the yellow next. This is number 1. I just have to grab my hanky first though. Oh, it's raining. It's been pretty rubbishy weather today. Now, yellow can disappear on paper, white paper. It's not always that visible. So I'm not going to worry so much with this one about fading it too much towards the middle. What I want to concentrate on is getting it really bright on the paper. Now, we haven't done purple yet. Let's do this violet. It's number 6. I'm not going to put it next to the pink. I think that is a bit obvious somehow. We'll put it up here. Just fade it towards the middle a bit there. There we go. Purple. We could do, I think we'll do a different shade of blue, maybe a much lighter blue. I think this light, number 30, is quite a good one. That is our light blue, but rather than doing a low one, where that I'll do this upper corner one, I think. Now, if I was good at drawing, what I would do is I would draw some balloons on the cart as well. So, you know, I think that would be nice. But I can't do that, so that isn't going to be done. What we're going to do is, I think we can have another green. Let's go for the slightly lighter green, number 50. The willow green. I'm going to put that here. I know I'd been avoiding putting them on the same row, but it's quite a lot lighter. We've got a little triangle bit on this one. There it is. And I think I'm going to use this one. I think this is called Bordeaux. 61. No, this is dark mauve. Sorry, completely lying. Not on purpose. And last, what should we do last? Could do a really dark orangey red. I think we'll do that. Is that number 2? I think that's the red. but I think this looks quite orangey. Now we have to think about our truck. We have options with the truck. We can go all bright, excuse me, like we have with the balloons, or we could stick to a few colours. So there are the balloons. I'll just leave them there for you to look at while I look at my colours. Now I think I'm going to just choose other colours that I haven't done for the balloons, because why would the truck be the same colour as the balloons? That wouldn't make any sense, would it? We did our last truck quite Christmassy, didn't we? But it's not Christmas anymore, sadly. I'm going to use 33. This is the very dark purpley blue, which is called cobalt blue. And I'm going to use this for some of the littler areas, so like here, this brim. And this one, I'm doing this just a solid bit of colour on this one. There we go. Now I'm thinking these wheel arches as well, but with these I'm going to slightly fade them as I go up. So a little bit lighter at the top. I did this on the Christmas truck / lorry, and I rather like that. There we go. And that this. Up. Yeah. What else should we do? I'm thinking this bit. And actually I might do this fairly even across. There's no real reason why it would fade anywhere. It's quite close to that blue balloon, but never mind. No, I think I'll do the top of the bonnet. I might do a bit more in a minute, but I'm going to leave it and bring, excuse me, number 3, which is our blue, and do a little bit with this and then see where that leads us really. So I am thinking this bit, it's quite a different blue as you can see, so that's quite useful that it's a little different. I noticed we did a bit of glitter on the last one. I just stuck my hand in it. It's not wet or anything, but it still sticks on me. So I'm not sure about that, whether to do some glitter on this one. Because obviously that, when I did that one, it was Christmas, but this is still celebratory. Not sure. Have a think as we go. I'm really just colouring this in quite solidly. I should probably do a few shadows in it in places really, but I haven't. Maybe we'll do that after. Yeah, let's do it after. Let's get this done. I can do this front bit. I don't know whether that should be metal and it's like a grid or what, but it isn't now, is it? And I'm going to use a final blue, the 37, which is the cyan, and use that for these main bits. Oh, it's a nice bright colour, isn't it? I think having the different shades of colour makes the van still look quite bright and fun, so it doesn't get completely overtaken by the lovely balloons. But and it would seem a little bit odd if the van was really plain with the balloons being so brightly coloured, I think. Alright, now I'm going to do this colour for the centre of the... No, I'm not. I'm going to do a grey for the centre of the wheels, I think. I can use the light grey though. This is number 80. Now, wheels. I'm going to do them like I did for the last one. So do a solid bit here, and then you fade it round each way, like that. And you get a bit of a darker part, and it looks like it's a bit shiny, hopefully. And then we're going to do this bit with a little gap, try and make it look shiny. I don't know if the door handle would be metallic, but it is now. Let's just try and leave a little bit of the lighter area in the centre to just make it all look a bit shiny. Now I'm thinking the steering wheel on the driver's seat could be black, so I'm going to pick up my number 9 again. Oops. To do those, there is the steering wheel, and there is the seat. Now on our last one we covered the cab in a grey colour and then put some white on it for shine, and I really like that idea, so I'm going to do it again. So this is number 8. I think that's probably what we used, but gently. We might have used 80 but hard, I don't know. There is that done. I'm going to continue with this 8, put in some shadows like here, particularly around that wheel arch. They usually stick out a bit from the vehicle like that, and then maybe under this lip. And hopefully it gives it just the slightest bit of three-dimensional edge. I don't know whether this panel would stand out just a bit. I just sort of imagine it will. And around here. Okay, so our final touch is to get a white pen. Just moving my pencils out of the way. I think I use a Posca. Quite a reliable white pen. Shook the whole desk. This is the PC1MR Posca. The first thing is the balloons. Now, I'm going to start with the far ones and move across, or else I could smudge it. Put a little bit of shine on that one there, sort of disappearing behind the balloon. That one. So I'm putting it on the side that these have it drawn on, and try and disappear them. Like that. Then once some across the window. That isn't working. Just try and make that look like a shiny, but a little bit on the top of the truck as well, to make it just look a bit shiny. Yeah, I think that's enough. I'm going to leave that there before I spoil it by doing too much white. Can you do too much white? Yes, you can. So there it is, there's our little party truck. So I hope that was okay for you. I had fun with it. I'm not sure what we're doing next. We may not do another truck. We may go and do a cupcake or something. I haven't quite decided yet how I'm going to tackle the pages. But there is that one done anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.